Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you showing up here tonight. It means a lot to me. To be honest, I'm always afraid that if I will show up and no one else will. So thank you very much, all of you. Thanks to Shoshana from the Faces of October 7th organization. She was the one that brought me here. So thank you very much to all of you and to Shoshana. So I will start with my story. On October 7th, on Saturday morning, in Israel, we celebrated Simchat Torah. It's like a big holiday in Israel, as the rabbi said before. So I will start. This is a map of Gaza and Gaza envelope. I really hope that you people in the back can see that. We're good. That's good. I really hope that, I do know that I have a very strong Israeli accent, but I will try to work on that, and we'll be fine. So this is a map of Gaza and Gaza envelope. On October 7th, in the morning, more than 3,000 terrorists broke the border between us to Gaza and entered Israel. Pretty much all over the Gaza envelope, there is many army bases, and there is many kibbutzim. Kibbutz, for the people that is not familiar with that, it's like a small socialist community village where there is about 500 people. The biggest one is about 1,000 people. On those kibbutzes, there was not even one policeman or not even one soldier. So all the terrorists that entered Israel, they entered all the army bases, they conquered. During holidays, many of our soldiers are going to celebrate with their family. So they used it. There was only 50% of the regular amount of soldiers inside our army bases. So they entered all the army bases, but they entered all the kibbutzes as well. With only one reason. As I said before, we were only civilians there. The only reason that they had is to kill us and try to kidnap us. What I would like to show you on this map is Kibbutz Reim. I am from Kibbutz Reim. Kibbutz Reim, it's right exactly in the middle of the Gaza envelope. All right. After everything finished, they captured some of the terrorists. The IDF captured them, and they asked the terrorists, "Why so many of you?" Sorry about that.
It's not you, though. We're trying to make it so they can hear you.
So the IDF investigated those terrorists, and they asked them, "Why so many of you entered Kibbutz Reim?" So the terrorists told them that Reim, it's exactly in the middle of Gaza envelope. They were planning to establish their headquarters. They were planning to conquer the whole envelope and then move on to the big cities. It's okay. And so Reim, it's exactly in the middle. It's also exactly in the middle of all the kibbutzes. That was the main reason to make Reim as the headquarters. And Reim also sat on a very important junction where when the army and the police tried to bring reinforcement to the fight. So there was a very big war next to our kibbutz, very big war. Um, well, me and my family, we moved to Kibbutz Reim on October 1st.
Oh.
Yeah. So next time that you people think that you have bad luck in your life, just remember the Israeli guy that came and he wasn't even there for 1 week.
Oh.
So pretty much they put a sign on our door. It said, Gal, Ayana, my wife, and our 3 kids, easy onboarding. Welcome to the Consular family. Here, I don't know if you can see that, there's a bullet from AK-47. I will go back to it later. So about at 6:30 a.m., there will start to be lots of sirens going on, and we start to hear like many sirens, and there's like many rockets falling next to our kibbutz, and many rockets got hit by our Iron Dome. The Iron Dome is our missiles that protecting us from the terrorist missiles. So we start to hear that. So I told my wife, I'm going into our safe room with our kids, try to arrange a suitcase, and we will get out of the kibbutz as soon as possible. So I will say one thing about the safe room. A safe room, it's pretty like any other room in your house, just the walls are a bit thicker and the wall and the door is a bit heavier, or it's supposed to protect you against rockets, against missiles. So we entered the safe room and there was like lots of sirens going on. Every now and then my wife got out of the safe room, like trying to like pack the suitcase.
Gal,
Yeah.
because this room has pretty much the worst acoustics of any room in the world,
All right.
the people in the back can't hear very well. We just thought we'd try it without the mic for a minute and see if that works.
Can you yell?
No.
It won't work. I will try to do my best. I will shout. Yeah, I will put it that way.
Seconds. There's 5 seats right here.
I will put it that way, and I will hope we will be
So you guys
okay.
want to move forward? Come on up.
So
Yeah. If you can't hear, come on up.
if someone can't hear, yeah, you can move forward, or I don't know. I will. You can take my seat and Corey's seat as well. Corey is my buddy here, so.
There's another place there.
Got 3 seats over here.
There are places here. One more. Here. There's a seat here.
Well, so yeah, about 7:30, at 6:30 we start to hear all those sirens. On 7:30 a.m. inside the village, inside the kibbutz, for each neighborhood there is one guy that is in charge of. So this guy gave me a call and he asked me what's going on, how's everything. He's like in charge of just for like emergency situation like this one. So he called me and he asked me, God, what's going on? So I told him 2 things. The first one, there was like, where was supposed to be a vent in our hall, in our safe room, it was empty and there was no lid covering it. So it pretty much just was like an empty hole. So I told him that I do need a lid to cover it. And the second thing is that I asked him, Nadav, is it possible that we will leave the kibbutz? We have a suitcase, we want to go. We knew that there is like keep heard shootings, but I didn't know what is those shootings. My wife, she asked me what it is, so I told her this is our army hitting the terrorists that like shooting rockets on us. I didn't know like what's going on. So he told me, so I asked him if it's possible that we will leave the kibbutz. And Nadav said, no, there is a big war being held out of the kibbutz. The terrorists broke the border, they entered Israel. There is a big war out of the kibbutz. And there is a fear that they are about to enter the kibbutz. You have to stay inside your safe room. So that was the first time that my life was saved, because after we left, I saw what went on out of the kibbutz. I saw like 100% that they would have killed us. They were already on the roads. So that was the first time that my life was saved. So how everything started in Kibbutz Re'im. This is 5 minutes before 8 a.m. This guy, he tried to escape from the terrorists. He tried to enter the kibbutz, but the main gate was locked. Now he's trying to go backwards. Now what you will see is Hamas pickup trucks. Each one of them had at least 15 people on it. He tried to escape. I don't know if it was too late for him. They came and they killed him. You see many other cars moving along the road, moving forward. It's very hard to see that, but here there is about 6, 7 Hamas pickup trucks. Now they enter the kibbutz. They were fully armed with AK-47s, PKs machine guns, RPG, which is an anti-tank missile. There was only one reason which they entered the kibbutz, it's to kill civilians. In the kibbutz, there were only six armed guys, only with M16. They had to face more than 100 terrorists that entered the kibbutz. The terrorists were fully equipped with stretchers and first aid equipment and everything. They brought food with them and water. They were planning to stay there inside the kibbutz for a long time. It wasn't just for 1 hour or 2. So they're entering the kibbutz with loads of ammunition. Many of the pickup trucks, it's a bit hard to see that. They stayed here on this road. They were supposed to enter the kibbutz. Well, I don't know if you saw on the media or you're familiar with the photos of all the burnt cars from October 7th. It was on this road out of the kibbutz. So the reason is that those terrorists stayed there. Instead of entering the kibbutz, it was much easier for them. They killed many civilians trying to escape the kibbutzes. They killed many soldiers and policemen entering the fight. There was another festival, the music festival just next to us. All right, it was a big 4-day festival with about 4,500 people there. So many of the people from the festival tried to escape. All right, so they escaped with their cars or by running. They escaped to this road. Pretty much for the terrorists, it was just like shooting ducks in a range. It was much easier for them not entering the kibbutz. Like all those poor people came towards them, and I'm always saying that, and I feel bad for that. But some of the reason that I'm here is that like only half of the terrorists that were supposed to enter Kibbutz Re'im actually did. We were like about 250 terrorists were supposed to enter Re'im, and only 120 really did. And that's the reason why. You see those video footage is from our factory camera, they're just going with their AKs, looking for civilians. This guy has an RPG missile, anti-tank missile with him. I can guarantee that in our kibbutz we had no tanks at all, only civilians. There was not even one soldier. Now it will be very fast, but you will see the first kidnappers from our kibbutz. They took them. Those are the first one. They're taking. Those were the first hostages from our kibbutz. It was at 8:15 a.m. So the main gate was here. The road where you saw, maybe you saw, or you Google it. If not, you need to Google it. All the burned cars were here. The Hamas, they knew exactly where to go inside Israel, inside our kibbutz. They knew, they had maps, they had photos of our kibbutz. They knew where the head of the security team lived. They knew exactly what they want to do and where to do that. So they entered all the way on this road to this parking lot. The main reason why they went there, they wanted to establish like a front base there. So anytime during the war, during the October 7th, they had about 20 or 30 people there, terrorists. This is where they bring all the injured, they bring here. They open like a small clinic there. So everything happened here. I live here, about 250 feet from where they established everything. I didn't know, obviously, I didn't know what's going on. So I heard them talk, but I didn't know what's going on. So after we left, I spoke with Asaf. Asaf is one guy from our security team, and he asked me, "Guy, you know how my day started?" So I asked him how. He told me Asaf lived in this house, about here. He told me that he opened this door and he saw 10 terrorists lying down here with their face towards the road. Okay, so instead of entering the kibbutz, trying to kill civilians, like people from rain, they understood that it would be much easier for them to lie over here. And pretty much the stuff was machine guns and RPGs, and like this, killing all the people that moved there, that walked, try to like escape the area. I also told you, so what Asaf did, he started to shoot them on the back, and they didn't even understood that there is one guy from the kibbutz that has a gun with him. So they didn't like turn around to say that. So this is how his day started. I also told you this is the road that the army tried to bring reinforcement, and also the police came from this road. This is why, and this is the junction. This is why it was so important to Hamas to take over this area. This is why there was such a big war out of our kibbutz. No, that's my family. This is me, my kids, Jonathan Akatan, little Jonathan, my twins, Omer and Rona, and my wife, Ayana. I'm always saying that she settled down too fast and compromised on me, but it was her fault. I don't care. Good for me, not so good for her, but it's okay. So around 8:15 a.m. on our WhatsApp group, there was a message that Dvir was murdered. Well, Dvir was a friend of mine. His house wasn't very far from where I live, about 300 feet. And from that moment, I knew exactly what's going on in the kibbutz. They are moving from house to house. cleaning it from civilians. Simple as that. Like, there wasn't a soldier, he wasn't a police guy, he just like civilian, like me and you, but in Israel, in Kibbutz Re'im. So I was about to collapse, and then my wife told me, like, there is kids that trust in you, show them that everything is okay. So I had some water, and like, I holded the handle of the safe room. I knew that I just gave them confidence, pretty much I cannot do anything if someone entered, but I knew from that point I just counted the minutes until they will come and kill me and my family. Simple as that. Just imagine yourself sitting in a room with your kids, waiting for your own death. Simple as that. We knew I was like pretty useless. I had no gun with me or anything like that. It was just me. So it was like you are just counting minute after minute. You keep hearing the shooting. It was like very clear. Like I had like hand grenade. The hand grenade explode, and then you heard some shootings, AK-47 shootings, and it was like that. So the shootings keep coming towards me. It was like I just waited. Well, eventually they were on my house. We start to hear the bullets hitting our house. We start to hear like the shouting and screaming in Arabic, like just next to our window. And I knew that it's our time. I knew that it's about time that they will enter my house. At that point, I thought about two things. I told you that we had a hole in our safe room. There was no lid covering it. Pretty much they could have come just throwing a hand grenade inside our safe room and take us all down. They didn't even have to enter the safe room. They didn't even have to enter my house. They just could have come from outside, throw one or two grenades, and kill us all. And I knew, at that point, I knew that my life is gone. Like I gave up on my life. It was all about saving my wife and my kids. I knew that if they will throw a grenade inside and I was ready for that, I would jump on the grenade. Because I wanted to save their life. I knew 100% that I'm going to die. And I was fine with that. I understood that this is what I need to do. And I knew that if they will enter my house, I will get out of the safe room, so they will kidnap me, take me as a hostage, or they will kill me, but they will feel they will save, like my kids will be safe. We know it didn't really went well for another family in Israel, the biggest family. The father got out of the safe room, they took him, and then they went back to take the mother and the two redheads baby. I don't know if you saw those photos. But that was what I had in my mind. I served in Sayeret Golani. It's one of the top elite units that we have in Israel. I've been under fire during my service. I was afraid for my life. But to be afraid for your kid's life, it's a whole new level that you cannot even imagine. It's something else. I was so scared. I felt that it's not fair for them. They don't even know what's going on. Like, I know, I do understand what's going on, what's the situation. And I just felt that it's not our time, especially not my kids and my wife's time. It's not fair for them. So the terrorists were on our house. We heard the bullets. And my kids, they start to scream. Imagine yourself there's terrorists out of your house coming to kill you. So we told them that they have to be quiet so the terrorists, so they will not reveal that there is people inside the house. So the twins, they were quiet, they understood. But Jonathan Akatan didn't. Jonathan Akatan kept on screaming. So my wife had to take her hand and put it on his mouth. Well, you all need to understand that we are next generations for Holocaust survivors. And every time in the Holocaust Memorial Day, there is this story about the woman that had to strangle her son, her baby, so the Nazis, so she won't reveal, the baby will not reveal that they are inside the house. So my wife started crying. She said, it reminded her of that story. So I came and put my hands on his mouth. And like every 10-15 seconds, I took my hands off so he would breathe. It was like that for a few minutes. Eventually the terrorists were on my door. They tried to open the door was locked. So they started to shoot on my front door. They started to shoot on the window next to my door. They started to shoot inside. Probably they thought that we will surrender and we will get out of the safe room. But we didn't. So they moved on. They moved to my neighbor house. My neighbor name is Ben. Ben was there with the family, forgot to lock the door in the morning. So they opened the door, they threw a hand grenade to the saloon. The hand grenade didn't explode. That's the only reason why that they were afraid from their own grenade. This is the only reason why Ben's life was and his family life was saved. So they moved on. It was like that. You need to understand, only at 2:30 p.m. after 8 hours, the army arrived, some of the special forces. And then I started to hear a big fight, big war going on inside our kibbutz. I can notice the difference between AK-47 bullets to M16 bullets. And since then I started to hear like a big war going outside. And it was a bit of a relief for me because I knew that from that moment the terrorists, instead of killing and kidnapping civilians, were trying to defend themselves. So there was like they still entering houses, but not as it was before that. So we still had to stay inside the safe room. Inside the safe room, we had only one bottle that I brought with me. Every time I had to fill like small bottle, every time I had to crawl to the restroom to fill it up with water and come back, I couldn't go to the kitchen because there were many windows there and they were out of my house. I brought some crackers that I had on the table, so that like just a few, so the kids will eat. They were a bit hungry, like me and my wife. Of course, we didn't eat anything, and like we couldn't go to the restroom, so we did all our meals in a small trash can. All of us inside the safe room. So at 2:30 p.m. the army arrived. There was a big war. At 6:30 p.m., after 12 hours that we were inside the safe room, the army finally arrived on my house. They broke the front door. Pretty much each one of you can break this door. Don't ask me why terrorists didn't. Just kick it, just simple wooden door. So the army arrived. They checked it, like they moved from house to house, they checked that everyone on the neighborhood is okay, which one is okay, and the houses that not, and I told them that they need to be aware that there is hand grenade in the saloon next to us. So they entered the house next to us, and they called Ben to get out of the safe room, and Ben didn't want to. After like a few minutes, they called me like if I can tell Ben to get out of the safe room. So I started to tell him like, Ben, is it possible that we will get out? Like, it's okay, it's me and the IDF. So after like 10 minutes that I'm begging, and my wife called his wife, get out of the safe room. Eventually he came out. So I asked him why he didn't want to come out. So he said that he saw a movie that in kibbutz Nahal Oz, it's another kibbutz, they took one hostage and they put a gun on his head and they walked all over the neighborhood and they told him, tell everyone to get out of the safe rooms. So people in kibbutz Nahal Oz, because this guy told them to, they got out of the safe room and the terrorists killed them there. This is why he thought that like they put an AK-47 on my head. This is why he didn't want to open. So at 6:30 down they arrived. They brought like Ben and his family to my safe room. Even though my safe room wasn't safe, there was like many bullets and we had a hole. So at around 11 p.m. they removed us under fire to a very nice couple. Old couple that host us for the night. And we were there, and the couple, they kept saying how lucky they were because their daughter was in the Nova Festival, the music festival that was held, and she had to go on Friday night, like because she had some work in Saturday. So they kept saying how lucky they were. So we went all to bed inside the safe room, of course. At 7 a.m. in the morning, I got out of the safe room. I tried to make some very fast breakfast for my kids. Suddenly, two army officers arrived. And they asked me if I can call Shabta and Mecca from the safe room. And I called them out of the safe room. They sat on the sofa, and next to me, the officers told them that their son Yuval was murdered on the way to his base. They recruited him to the reserve, and he got killed on the way there. We don't want to be next to our parents that hearing those bad news. So this is how everything went for us. Only after 32 hours or something like that, we could have gone and lived kibbutz Re'im. This is our front door. This is one bullet, actually more. This is from a hand grenade. This is our window. You cannot really see it, but they start to shoot all over the window, just like shooting inside. Inside the house, there is many bullets. It's inside our house. We do have even one bullet on our refrigerator. I'm not sure which company this refrigerator is, but I can tell them that this refrigerator is bulletproof and they 100% they can take the price up. And everyone that it's a bulletproof. There is a real example for that. We thought about buying a new refrigerator, but then me and my wife, we took one magnet of our wedding and we put it on it, and we thought it would be very symbolic to do that. So this is the wall. There is many like this is. There was like an RPG hit next to us. This is a hole from it. There is many more bullets. When the army arrived, so they will be able to communicate with each other. They wrote like with sprays number on the in our apartment. This is when the IDF arrived. They broke the door pretty much. As I told to anyone of you, just a simple wooden door. There is few more bullets here. Well, at some point the terrorists thought it would be much easier to literally burn the whole kibbutz. So they started to burn cars. They saw that all the smoke will enter our safe rooms. And because of the smoke, we will have to get out of the houses, and they will kill us outside. It will be much more easier for them, so they start to burn all the cars in all the parking lot around our houses. Now this is a safe room. This is from anti-tank missile, alright, from an RPG. There is a hole in it. There was one teenager guy that lived there. Later I will show you the video of how it looks like from the inside. In this photo, at some point, the army arrived and the terrorists tried to hide themselves inside our houses. So many soldiers, special forces soldiers, entered those houses fighting the terrorists, but many of them died in the fight against the terrorists. So the army brought a tank, like a Kaval, like an Abrams tank here, start to shoot cannon shells on our own houses. So just imagine yourself, one day you will see like an Abrams tank goes on the roads here, taking down your own houses. That was really terrifying. It is very terrifying thought. So this is how it looks like when the army is like shooting cannon shells on your own houses. I'm going to show you a few videos from our kibbutz. It was from a week ago when it's from kibbutz Rein. That was the first time that I entered Rein. Till then, it was very hard for me to go to the kibbutz, to go back. But I knew how important it is that other people will see what we had to be faced through. So this is how it looked like when I told you about the car. This is the area. There was like 2 apartments here. This is the place where the tank shoot cannon shells. You remember the RPG hall from before? This is the safe room. In this safe room stayed a teenager guy, 19 years old. You can see how it looks like. Well, this guy had no chance. Unfortunately, he died. On those 2 apartments, well, you see there is 2 numbers, 43 and 44. It was too hard for me to enter apartment 44. The reason is that many people from the Nova Festival music escaped the festival and they thought that they would be safe inside the kibbutz. They thought that they would be protected. So in this house, 3 girls tried to hide themselves, and the terrorists entered, and the terrorists raped them. Not 1 or 2 or 3 terrorist groups of terrorists. I spoke with a guy that took photos after that to make sure that there is evidence, and I spoke with the family from the kibbutz that lived pretty close to there. She said that she heard the screaming for a few hours, and suddenly it was quiet. And I spoke with the guy that took photos, and we have all the evidence that this has happened. It was too hard for me to go into this apartment, to room 43. Many other guys from the Nova Festival entered. When they tried to fight the Hamas with their bare hands. This is a soldier that was on vacation. He went to the Nova Festival and he died in this room. He fought them with his bare hands. They burned the whole house with those kids inside. It was like that. This is another house. This is the oldest olive tree in the kibbutz. It was very symbolic, but they burned it. This is how those houses look like. This is from the inside. The reason that they burned it is to make sure that no one will escape. They just burned it and stayed outside. Everything was melted. Look at the sink. Pretty much the only thing that left is just the concrete and the aluminum frame. Beside that, everything was burnt. This is how it looks like. So just took a few photos, a few videos. We'll show you this one as well. There is some ash in this apartment. There is some ash on the floor. I want to tell you one more thing. So, I'm not good with that. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. My bad. So, another thing that I wanted you will see on this video is that sticker. I didn't have this sticker on my house. This sticker means that this house was burned, and the things that was there wasn't only bodies. So we have in Israel we have Zaka. Zaka, they are the ones that are looking for bodies and parts of bodies. And on the houses that they put it, they didn't put it on each sticker. On the house that they put the sticker, it's they confirm that they checked for every bones or anything or part of bodies inside those houses. So
I'm sorry.
that's alright. So you see there is an ash on the floor. My wife didn't want to walk on the ash. She just stayed where there is no ash. She was afraid that she will have to walk on someone's ash. So they burned the whole place, just like that. This is apartment of a full family that was burned to the ground. You see, in this house there were 5 guys. Those family and the guy that took the picture is a good friend of mine. That took the video is a good friend of mine. They had a daughter. They have a daughter that she's 100% disabled. She only can lay over. She cannot even sit. The security team they start to say that. On our WhatsApp group that Maron's house is getting burned. So the security team came and they under fire in the last minute. They rescued the whole family. Well, after more than 30 hours, finally we managed to escape. We took this video, I'm sorry that you cannot see little Jonathan as well. That was the first time we took it as we left the kibbutz. That was the first time that those kids could have a proper sleep. if you're asking me, they are the real warriors, they are the real heroes of our story. They behaved so well and they were amazing. And I'm very proud of them. I would like to dedicate this lecture I'm going to dedicate it to two people. The first one is Roy Levy. Roy Levy was an American citizen. He born here in the United States. His family made Aliyah to Israel. Roy was, during my service, Roy was my officer there. We were good friends during that time. He was a great commander. And the first time that Roy saved my life was during my military service. We had rescue operations, and Roy was there for us, for me. That's the first time. The second time that Roy, he heard that there is a big war down south. He was with his family, live up north of Israel, and he heard it. He went straight all the way back and down to the Gaza envelope. He heard that there is many terrorists inside Rain. He entered just taking another 3 soldiers that he picked up on the way down south. They entered Rain to fight against the terrorists. At some point, one of the terrorists escaped one of the houses next to Roy. He saw Roy and shot 7 bullets towards Roy, Roy's way. And 6 bullets hit the tree, and the 7th hit Roy straight in his heart. Roy died there about 300 feet from where I live, even less than that. And that's the first time that Roy protected me and saved me and my family. The second one is Shauli. Shauli is my wife's cousin. We were very good friends. Shauli was 26 years old. He already discharged from the army, but Shauli insisted to enter Gaza. He insisted to join and fight. So after a while, it was Hanukkah holiday, like a big holiday in Israel, and they gave him like 24 hours just to refresh out of Gaza, just to refresh and be with the family. So we went there, we lighted up a candle, our family and Shauli's family. And me and Shauli, we were outside, so we started to talk. And Shauli told me that every time that they feel sad or desperate, and like he's not in a bad, and he has a bad mood, he's thinking about me and my family and my kids, and this is what gives him the strength to move on and to continue, and knows that he's doing the right thing for literally his own family, not like, and for the rest of Israel, but he knows that he's doing the right thing. So as we left, Shauli took my kids and we hugged them and we put them inside the car. And I stood with Shauli, I gave him a hug, and I told him, Shauli, please don't be a hero. We have heroes only in cemeteries in Israel. Don't be one. Try to protect yourself. Don't get into danger. He told me, God, I will be alright. You got nothing to worry about. Well, Shauli was a hero. Alright, he went back to Gaza, and there was a house that they thought that there might be terrorists inside that house. I'm always saying that we are very moral army. Instead of sending aircraft to bomb this house on terrorists, they were afraid that there were civilians inside. So they sent infantry soldiers. Instead of sending the soldiers, Shauli entered this house with another officer, and the house exploded and collapsed on them. They set up a trap. So Shauli died. I'm really proud of him. He was like a true hero. No, he's a hero. He's insane. He's inside the cemetery. Shauli's dream was to be a singer. So Shauli, so we have this reality show called Akohavaba. It's like an American Idol. It's a reality show. Shauli went out of Gaza for his first audition, with his dusty uniforms and everything. He didn't manage to go out, and he passed the first audition. For the second audition, they called him and he was inside and he said, "No, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give up on my dreams." At that moment, I had to stay here and fight for my people. My dreams will wait for that different time. That's not the right time for that. So we didn't came to the second audition. Well, this is his audition. I'm sorry about that. 1 second. I do need to do one of the actually. It's not connected, so we're trying to do that way. We have to put it. Sorry about it, guys. Yeah, we have to put it here. This is from where sang pretty much the song about he predicted his own death.
ואת בוכה בפנים, אני רואה אותך נשרפת, את מפחדת להסכים, שזו לא סתם תקופה חולפת, כותב בלילה שיר, זה מנקה ממני עצב, כשנגמר לי האוויר, אני בוכה לבד ברכב. איזה טוב אתה!
This is me and my family in Passover about a few weeks ago. Those are my kids that are smiling. For me, it's much harder to smile nowadays. But it's all about them. The reason that I came, sorry. Give me 1 second, sorry. The main reason that I came here, I'm afraid that people will never say that October 7th happened. It's really important for me that other people will know what me and my kids had to suffer for 32 hours. I'm not here to say anything about what happened after the war, after October 7th. I'm just here to know what those beautiful kids had to face. So if each one of you will take even something small from what he just saw and will move it forward and will tell other people, it means a lot to me. I really mean it. So thank you very much, all of you, that you came. I really appreciate that you came here spending time just to come and listen to me. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bo. I don't know how he can tell the story so poised night after night and go through this. We're so lucky that he does this for us. My name is Shoshana. I'm with the Faces of October 7th project that brought Gal here. But before I actually talk about the project, I just want to say one thing that occurred to me today, this time around when I was listening to Gal speak. Because at the beginning, the pastor was reading some details that I had sent initially before I even heard Gal's testimony, and I was trying to find a couple more details about Kibbutz Re'im to explain a little bit more context. And now I have this memory of searching the internet to learn a little bit more about what happened there that day at Kibbutz Re'im. And think I barely found anything. It was the wrong number of terrorists that entered. And so when Gal says, take something that you heard tonight with you and remember it and talk about it, it's so important. Like, we need to help him do the work of sharing the story and remembering what happened to him and his family that day. That's why we're here. Anyway, Faces of October 7th. It's now officially an incorporated nonprofit. My friend and I started this project about really just 2 weeks after October 7th. It's like October 20th, I think, we flew the first survivor to the US. And since then, we have been to over 200 different communities, mostly in North America, but also all over the world. 80 of which have been college campuses. We brought 15 survivors, and we have a lot more to do. We have communities who are interested in hosting an event fill out an interest form, and we just have tons. We have so much so many communities that we want to go to, and so many survivors that are eager to share their story and feel their support of the world, especially in a time where it really feels like so many are against us. So if you're interested in learning more about the Faces of October 7th project, feel free to come speak to me afterwards, or we also have a website. It's on the screen, but if you also just Google Faces of October 7th, you'll be able to find it. We also have an Instagram where you can follow what's happening, what survivors are here now. And we'll have a newsletter also about where we're coming soon, so if you have other communities that you want to help connect us to. And also, I might have to shift the screen a little bit, but there's a GoFundMe, and we could definitely really use all the support we can get to make sure we can continue doing this and do more and more of this important work. So thank you so much for having us, to everyone who helped organize it so we could come and be here today in Boise. And I'm gonna pass it on. Thank you.
Quick question. We're going to see you in the back about making a donation back there?
For making a donation, I think there's a box if you want to do cash, but also on the GoFundMe page, if you scan the QR code, you can donate there with like a credit card or bank and stuff like that.
Will any of that money go to the families?
The money almost exclusively goes to like literally just like the flights and transportation in order to get them here.
How do we donate to the families? How do we donate to the families? In addition.
I personally don't collect donations to the families. There might be other organizations that do.
So there's 2 boxes in the back. One is cash for Gal, and the other is for the Faces of October 7th. So if you want to donate directly to like families in Israel and so forth, then we have the logos on the back of the program where you can go to those websites, and there's recommendations for where you can donate for that purpose.
Back here?
But there's a box.
Yeah, on the back.
Yeah, there's boxes and they're wrapped in.
Can we put
Beautiful
checks?
foil.
Can we put checks in the box? Okay,
Yep.
all right. And these are the logos here?
So if you'd like to give tonight, there's some great opportunities.